Good. Where we at? Oh, there we go. We good. All right, let's go live. Temporarily going live on Instagram as well. let me add this here to this. We thugging it out. Pin that comment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what? Since people follow instructions and went to YouTube, man, we're going to do like a little test. We're going to do what the youths call a vibe check. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little sick. We're going to make this happen, though. All right. Feel like I'm on the cusp of something.
If you're on ArmandWakeUp.com or the YouTube, can you hear that music?
A black man not wrought with guilt is hard to kill. God forbid he gets healed and starts to feel. I've been putting words to feelings, not spending my time putting work to minutes. I'm resting, cause accomplishments can arrest us. Finding worth in crowns is a setup. My prayers to find value with myself. Give God the throne and be cool with the shelf. Don't limit my worldview to my perspective, and make sure assessments aren't full of projection. Goals right now ain't reaching the loss. Ministry is being home to see my baby walk. Being available when my daughters need to talk, and telling my son being cool is a farce. I'm doing better than I ever have. My real life never land. Look in the mirror and say you better win.
All right, there we go. So there's that. So if you're on YouTube, you're getting exclusive music right now. I'm playing records that aren't out yet. So if you're on Instagram, go over to YouTube. Shout out to the Fruit Market. Yes, this shirt is very fire. Shout out to the Fruit Market. What else could I play for y'all real quick? Just while we getting people in here, you know what I'm saying? So tonight, just to let y'all know, we are discussing parenting. We're gonna talk about parenting tonight. What I want to know, let's do a little warm-up question. So I had my man ask me a question the other day. He asked me, in a Verzuz, who would win between DJ Drama and DJ Khaled? If they're only playing their records, who wins and why? Let me know. I got my pick. I think it's really obvious, but I'm curious to know what y'all think. I'm not going to play no Drama music or Khaled music as much as I want to. Maybe we'll do that on CRS or something. Drama or Khaled in a Verzuz, y'all let me know. Just while we getting started. Oh, I need to let me do this. Boom. In the meantime, you know this is nobody. Your Drama depends on the age of the crowd. Okay, we got one for Drama. Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to Drama, because with Drama you're gonna get all of those Gangsta Grill records, right? Like he gets to choose some, so Trap or Die, Dedication 2, you know, all the Bird Prince, the Little Brothers, like literally everybody had a Gangsta Grill in 2005, 2006. So, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty easy. So if you're joining on the Instagram, right now I'm going to be on here till 9:15. Once we get to 9:15, we're going to head over. I want you guys to head over to YouTube, please. Go to ArmandWakeUp.com. The link is directly there. Or if you subscribe to my YouTube, we're trying to go there. I'm trying to get my watch hours up. The question that we're posing in the room right now is, just as an icebreaker, Verzuz DJ Drama, DJ Khaled. Who wins? Why? We got another one. Listen, Andrea, it's all. You can't when it was Patty versus Gladys, it wasn't, new Patty versus old Gladys. Like it's everything drama versus everything Khaled. So you get skinny Khaled, DJ Khaled beating Novocaine Khaled, everything Khaled. You get Gangsta Grills drama, Rico drama, Jack Harlow drama, all of that. All right, my man Black said Khaled for the hits, drama for the heads. I'm with you there. Yeah, drama ain't really have no hits. He had that Take It to the Head song that was kind of shaky. Drama for sure. Shout out to Shakir. What up? Yeah, all time DJ Drama. Of course. Yeah, what's up with maybe they jumping in quick. Instagram kind of dry, y'all. What's up with y'all, man? All right, it's all good. Drama or cat. Okay. All right. Let's just play the other one then, since it got announced last week, or since they agreed to it. Puff versus JD. Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, Love versus Jermaine Dupri. Who do y'all have and why in a versus? JB, what up? Feeling a little better? Versus coming along, just letting you know that right now, just letting you know publicly. I'm about to start rapping with my friends again, and I'm very excited. So, JB, right, we're going to get started shortly. We're going to talk about parenting and, some of the stuff I share with my daughter later on. We're going to get into some real conversation. But for now, we just being cool. Right now is versus. First question was DJ Drama versus DJ Khaled. Who wins in that versus? Second question is Puff Daddy versus Jermaine Dupri. Who wins that versus? Okay, YouTube blowing up. So we got Puff 15-5, cuz. Ooh. Okay. See, thank you, Shakir. Yes, that's not easy, bruh. I think a lot of people, and this is why I like the verses and I like the celebration. I really think people are sleeping on Jermaine Dupri. We know Puff, we know what Puff can do and has done. Puff listen, and let's be super honest. JD was stealing a lot of the bad boy sauce in the early 90s. He was. The Brat was his Snoop. You know what I'm saying? He snatched Bow Wow from Death Row, high key. A lot of those early Social Def records were coming from the Puff Daddy wheelhouse. I'm sorry, neither of those artists were on Bad Boy. I'm thinking of Death Row. Well, he's stealing from them too. He was stealing from some Puff Daddy stuff though. He was. Puff over JD, but by a hair. See, that's what I'm saying. It's not easy, bro. It's 11-9, 12-8. It's not easy. Shout out to So Journalist. Hoping for a JD win. JD was a solo producer and got hits. Puff had the hitmen helping him. Yeah, but it's somebody who can't produce, but I hear stuff. I be telling Doc and telling people, I want this, give me this. I think that's still a contribution. The vision is a contribution. You know what I'm saying? Love versus Janet. You stupid. I have to say JD seems more hands-on than Diddy. Diddy just used to dance to people's videos and scream on the records. He did. Look, that Making Moves with Puff video. I'm I remember being a kid watching Craig Mack rap. Making Moves with Puff was hard. I like that record a lot. And for whatever reason, Puff was just all in the videos, super tough. And I'm bro, what are you doing? Why are you here? Dancing in the rain with the umbrella. He was doing a lot. You extra. It was a bunch of girls was around. He was trying to impress them. I don't know. Somewhere Tretch is shaking his head. That's funny. Tretch. For sure. All right, we getting ready to get started, man. I'm ready to knock this out because I'm only going to be here till 10 o'clock. So if you are on Instagram, please head over to ArmandWakeUp.com. Literally, soon as I end this, jump on here. I would love to, just incorporate you guys on this conversation. We about to get into some stuff. We about to talk about So I had a conversation with the boy that my daughter is dating. They're both interested in each other. They both like each other. My daughter clearly likes this guy. He clearly likes her. I'm not spilling the tea because that's not important. Like, hey, y'all, let me tell y'all. But as a dad and as a parent and as somebody working through a lot of real life stuff, I want to share with you guys some of the gems that I've just realized since having this conversation with this young man, and maybe how we've done a disservice to our kids and how we parent them, and how we allow them to explore as they get older, and what that looks like, healthy and responsibly. What I also want to talk about is I want to talk about this algorithm rapper. What is it? Meka was his name. I want to have a really interesting and a really honest conversation about all of that, because there's a lot to talk about, and I'm not just going to be up here talking for 45 minutes. I really, 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 really want you guys to be involved. My water at? My water. I sound like somebody just hit a crazy bar on me in a smack battle. So definitely want to have that conversation with all of you guys. So I'm going to end the Instagram. You guys head over to ArmandWakeUp.com. Please, please, please. I think you guys are doing that. So please head over that way. We're about to get started because I want to get off at 10 o'clock. I want to take a shower and I want to go to bed because I'm old. But I'm going to get with y'all. Doc, what up? And yeah, let's move over. We moving over to YouTube. ArmandWakeUp.com, Instagram. I will see y'all later. Boom. We ending the live video on IG. Man, I want to thank you guys for following the instructions over here on YouTube and just being here from the jump. So thank you guys. Let's say JD is doing whoa, special delivery. Oh, he said, man, what is JD doing when whoa, special delivery, Benjamin's victory come on? Man, you know, what is Puff gonna do when he gets in his Usher bag, his Emancipation of Mimi bag? Like, JD got records, man. Like, does Puff, here we go. Does Puff have a Let's Get Married? Right? Does he have a song? I know the answer to this, but does he have a song that reaches across the water and will be played forever, that's like connected to a life moment, an important life moment? Let me know. We about to get started. Y'all get me in my, I talk hip hop all day. And a lot of my newer YouTube subscribers, you guys follow me from, those Clock Radio Speakers shorts going crazy. So I'll talk hip hop all day, but you guys can join me over there at clockradiospeakers.com. Clock Radio Speakers, we have our own YouTube. Just search Clock Radio Speakers. Have our own YouTube. I'm starting to build that up now. So here we go. Black said he gonna cheat and play My Life or Be Happy. I hate being sick. Well, I'm not sick, but I hate getting over being sick. All right. Yeah, I don't know, dog. I don't know if he has those records. So if you're watching this stream, please, please, please jump in the chat. Let me know what y'all think. So let me pull my notes up. Let's get into that. So, cause I wanna have some real conversation with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I really want to talk and I want to get some feedback. So, like I said, listen. I also want to welcome you guys. I need to say that my name is Armand Wake Up. Thank you guys so much if this is your first time tuning in. We were doing this like a year ago, and look, man, I had a baby. I got a new family. We blended families. It's a lot going on. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, and this is gonna be one of the spaces where I kind of like process my process. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's important. Because I know I'm not the only one that's processing my process. So I definitely, just want to share that in this space for sure. ArmandWakeUp.com. Make sure you follow me on all socials at ArmandWakeUp. I'm on Instagram the most. I'm on Twitter at ArmandWakeUp. I'm on TikTok at ArmandWakeUp_, but I don't really be on TikTok. I just kind of throw stuff there. If you guys saw my Andre 3000 video that came out today as well, sign up. Go to ArmandWakeUp.com if this is your first time. Sign up for the mailing list. I don't know if you guys are doing that. Let me check my phone. No, you were not, but that's okay. So let's get into it, man. Yeah, Faith Evans. I don't know Faith Evans, big dog. I don't know. All right, so let's get into the shenanigans. So like I said, my daughter had a let me preface it with this. So my daughter and I'm really close with my kids. So I got a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So I'm really close with my kids. I have a great relationship with my kids, and I think I'm a fire father. I just parent really well. I think that's just a strength and a gift that I have. My daughter and I are super close. I had her when I was 19. So we're really, really close. And so she tells me a lot of things. She don't tell me everything, but she tells me a lot of things. And, I knew about this boy that she liked, you know what I'm saying? And she was, just expressing, and she wanted to tell me about him. She just wanted to make sure, that it was something that was like, concrete, had some legs to it. And, she told me, and conversation went well, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, I want to meet him. So immediately when the dad meets the boy that's dating the daughter, your mind goes to Bad Boys 2, right? You think of Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, or Reggie. You look 30, right? And, you also see lots of images, dudes taking their daughters to prom, and the dad is sitting there with this big old rifle or this gun, or he's sitting there with a bunch of brothers and uncles and cousins, and, supposed to be scaring them off and all that stuff. And I'm like, listen, man, that's not realistic. Not if you want to successfully create a safe space for your children to navigate as they get older. Because here's the thing, we definitely don't do that with our boys. And my son is 13, and based off of what I saw this summer, he need them boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because my son is not me. When I was 13, I was super insecure and shy and nervous, and I didn't really get down like that until a little later. But my son, like, he with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he I'm not gonna put but he with it. He got a girl's number, just like nothing. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And so what ended up happening was I ended up getting the boy on FaceTime, and we had maybe a 15-20 minute conversation. And it was a great conversation. And I'm looking at my wife like, yo, I think I like this dude. Like, he's really, really nice. Like, he's really cool. He wasn't trying to impress me. And that's what impressed me. Yo, these kids nowadays, like, they just different. They're just in a different bag. He wasn't really pressed that I was, you know what I'm saying? That I was her dad. Like, I think she was mindful of that, but not really. Let me do that. My bad. Okay, I'm good. So with that, it made me think back to when I was in high school. And my mom was like, my mom wasn't trying to hear it. And I remember her telling me like, yo, don't bring no girl home that you ain't gonna marry. And looking back, I'm like, Mom, 15, like, who do I know? Who do I even know who I'm supposed to be marrying. You know what I'm saying? And it was really it was detrimental. And I don't think it was intentionally detrimental. I think my mom was like really, what she was trying to say was make sure that whoever you bring to the family to introduce, make sure that it's not just some random girl and it's somebody that you really are interested in. But I took that as a teenager. I took it literal. Like, oh, you don't want me to marry anybody? And so in turn, or you don't want me to, talk to anybody that you don't want to talk to anybody that I'm dating? So what that said to me was, well, I'm just not going to involve you in this because I'm going to do it. And I think that's what parents who are like overbearing and maybe fearful that their child is getting older and exploring things like dating and sexuality and all this stuff is like, if I'm overbearing and I tell them don't do it, then they're not going to do it. And you also think that, well, we have a great relationship, and because we have this great relationship that, they're just going to listen to me. And that's not the case. In most cases, few things are going to happen. In most cases, the kids are going to do it anyway, and they're just not going to involve you. They're just going to go around your back and do it. The other thing that will happen is that they don't do it, and then they end up getting married, and they're in a relationship where they don't know what to do. And that happens a whole lot in Christian circles. Where you have girls who have saved themselves and guys who have saved themselves. They haven't dated, they haven't had sex, they haven't kissed, they haven't done anything. And now you have to explore romance together, but you're both awkward. Neither one of you knows anything about anything. There's no exploration. And if the exploration is there, it's perverted. Because maybe if you chose to do it, you did it behind the back. So on the other hand, I'm sorry, if you explore behind your parents' back, there's no guidance. Your guidance are your peers, right? So you're watching porn. They are, just all over the place. They don't know how to handle emotions, don't know how to communicate. And you kind of develop really bad habits that are harder to break the older you get. Especially with men, especially with black men, it's really hard for us to communicate our emotions. We're not emotional. Men are very emotional. We have emotions. I think what happens is that we don't learn the language of emotions until much later in life, or until like something traumatic happens, like infidelity, or death or heartbreak or something like that. Now all of a sudden we scrambling to find the words and we can't. So in turn, all we're doing is lashing out because there's that actual, and y'all know this, if you've ever experienced heartbreak or disappointment, or your partner cheating on you, whatever, like it actually hurts. Like you can physically feel it in your body. So you lash out, you throwing stuff, and it gets ugly, right? So let me see, where we at? Hold up. Let's see. Trying to figure out how this will play out with special needs kid. Ooh, special needs kid. That's interesting. Okay. Shout out to Julian. That's beautiful. All right. So like I said, in turn, it just made me shut them out of that space, to the point to where, if I'm honest, like I still do that today. Like there's still certain things that I don't talk about with my parents. And it's because that was kind of developed when I was younger. And now as I get older, it's just like, I don't know if I don't maybe trust that they have that, have that advice or that ability to, speak that kind of wisdom. So what do you do when you don't want to be overbearing? You want to be involved in this experience with your kids, but you want to do it responsibly. The biggest lesson that the best advice that I can teach you is something that they taught us when I was in the military. I was in the Air Force. And they'll tell you, like, yo, remember your training. They would always tell that, like, when people were getting deployed, Afghanistan, I supported Operation Iraqi Freedom, and they would always tell us, like, remember your training. So the things that we taught you during peacetime, when things weren't going on, when your daughter didn't have a boyfriend, when your son didn't have a girlfriend, have those conversations then. When I was younger and I was scared, because trust me, I did not learn this out the gate. I would just tell my daughter, like, hey, boys are stupid. Boys are stupid. And then anytime we would see something on TV, we watch a movie, or there was some sort of example of something, and I'd be like, baby, what'd I tell you? She'd be like, I know, Dad, boys are stupid. And so what ended up happening was I realized that was detrimental, because the reality is, like, my daughter's gonna like dudes, and not all boys are stupid, right? So when you have that realization, the thing that I do with my kids is, like, I reel stuff back in. I'll be like, yo, I know I said that, but actually that came from this place, and here's what I think now. I think that's something that our parents really didn't do with us. They kind of like, like how when you lie and now you got to, like, hold on to the lie. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, you're all in. Sometimes you got to walk stuff back and be like, yo, that's what I meant at that point. But I realize now that, like, that idea is sort of evolved into something else. So I would tell my daughter all the time, like, yo, I'm not stupid. Like, I know that I don't want you to do this, but I know that that's not realistic. You're a beautiful girl. Boys are going to be beating down your door to try and get in your space. The thing that I would always tell her is she would ask questions. My daughter's incredibly mature for her age, because her parents were so young. That's kind of what happens with a lot of kids that are the oldest. They become super mature. So I would just answer a lot of questions. We'd have conversations. I would use real life to bring up things. Like, let me just inject this in peacetime. Like, I remember one time my daughter liked a Nicki Minaj song when she was like 12 or something like that. 12, 13. And so I used that to talk about body image. Like, okay, why do you like Nicki? Or why do you like Cardi? And then I would just ask questions and be like, yo, how do you feel about yourself? And the other thing, as her dad, I also know that, like, there's just certain things she's just not going to tell me. I just make sure that the women in her life are solid too. She has a great relationship with her mom. She has a great relationship with my wife. She's got other adult women in her life that she can speak to about things that she's probably not going to speak with me regarding. You know what I'm saying? So, I have to remember, because here's the other reality is, like, yo, I still want to be overwhelming, or I still want to be overbearing. I still want to be like, yo, I tell, like, yo, you still shouldn't date right now. But I have to remember all of the conversations that I've had with her throughout the course of her life. And I have to trust and believe that I've trained her up in a certain way. And when she gets older, she ain't going to depart from it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that dude seems like a good dude, potentially, because I'm also not stupid, but potentially it serves as proof as, okay, like, I did all right. You know what I'm saying? She picked a good guy. And so now it is like making myself available to the questions of when they're exploring romance, as I said earlier, what does this look like? How do I, birthday is coming up. How do I celebrate him with him? How do I communicate my feelings for her? Like, making myself available for those conversations so that even if they don't make it, that he goes on and she goes on and is still able to love well and take what they learned from the relationship and not, turn into a Rod Wave song. You know what I'm saying? So Um, as long I'm looking I'm looking at my notes. My whole thing is just like to avoid, and I'll just say this and I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Is like the whole point is just to avoid having them talk to their get like the ultimate advice from their peers. Cause I remember when I was a freshman in high school and one of my friends started having sex regularly, and he was the only one out the crew that was smashing regularly. So just because he had sex 3 times, he becomes the subject matter expert on all things sex. So we asking this dude questions, and it's like, you still don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? Had I had those safe spaces with adults, had my parents positioned themselves and knew how to position themselves, because I'm not going to throw my parents under the bus at all. But if my parents knew how to position themselves in a safe way, maybe I wouldn't have made the mistakes that I made, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Let me check the chat real quick. All right. Honesty from jump is the win. Also allows your children to navigate their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions instead of protecting your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions with guidance. That is key. Absolutely. Absolutely. Peers are definitely the worst. It's a new level of sexual perversion out there. 100%. 100%. You have to meet that head on. And that's the really hard conversation, is to have the sexual conversation with your kids. 100%. 1000%. Because what I tell my kids is like, yo, listen, man, God made sex to be enjoyable. But there is a context to it. It is a God ordained context, and there's a reason for that. And what I tell them is not just what the Bible says, but I say, look, man, sex complicates things. There's no such thing as casual sex. If you're watching this right now, you know for a fact when you was doing your thing, like, it was never, very rarely was it casual, meaning, all right, we gonna do this and then we done. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, obviously, of course that happens. I think number one, I feel like you have to go to a place, you have to be at a place to do that. But somebody, in most cases, 95% of cases, somebody catches feelings, somebody gets their feelings hurt. Sex complicates things unnecessarily when it's not in the correct context. It's like getting a lot of money. Like, yo, getting a lot of money is good. Don't rob a bank. You know what I'm saying? If you rob a bank and get a lot of money, you're going to go to jail. But if you invest, come up with an idea, if you, all these other ways to make money, if you make money that way, then a lot of money is good. So the other question that somebody posed to me on Instagram was, why does it seem like this generation are better parents than the last? And I want to pose that question to the room first before I get into my bag. Do you believe that, first and foremost? Do you think that if you're parents in here, do you think that you are parenting your kids better than your parents parented you? So, in the meantime, hit that like button, all that good stuff, man. I am getting my watch hours up. I really, really appreciate you guys for being here with me. This is super dope. And I'm really thankful that y'all are in this space with me for sure. Listen, sex will cloud your judgment and discernment. You'll be stuck with someone you should have left long ago. Listen. As someone who has kids with more than one woman and is married to someone who had a child with another man, blending families is no joke. It is far and away the hardest thing there is to do. It is so bad. And I'm just like, that's another, and that's the other thing is I tend to use that as an example too, as a deterrent high key for sex. Like, yo, you mess around, have a baby with somebody, you stuck with that person forever. And now what's happening to you guys, how, when you're with me, you miss your mom. When you're with your mom, you miss me. It's like, make sure that your kids don't experience that pain and that anguish that you experience due to, our decision. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's ask this question. So I don't know if that's correct. Oh, hold on, let me go. Julian said, and we give hyper importance to sex and tie it to our identities, especially if you get started early. The Bible is to be believed. Sex won't always be around. That helped reframe the whole subject. Yeah, man. One thing that my old pastor used to always say is like, yo, actually, no, it wasn't him. It was another pastor that I heard. He talked about, he's like, yo, if you make a pie chart of your time with your significant other, with your wife, a very small slice of that pie is sex. When you factor in what it takes to run a family, run a household, like there's not a whole lot of time for sex. And if I'm talking to married people in here, you know that you have to plan that stuff. You got to say, Friday, we doing this. In most cases, spontaneity, of course, but sometimes you're just like, bro, like we got to put this on the calendar. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just hard. Just time just gets away from you. That's one of the biggest things I'm learning being a newlywed. It's like, yo, time is crazy. It is slipping into darkness. All right. So Jesse says, I don't know if that's correct. Every generation needs something different. We are on the same page, my good brother. That is exactly what I believe. And I'm going to get into that shortly. Black says, I'm 2 years in, and honestly, I don't know if I am. 2 years in. First of all, congratulations, brother. 2 years is super dope. The best advice that I give to new parents, the strongest advice I give to new parents is like, yo, let yourself off the hook, big dog. Let yourself off the hook. You are doing the best you can with what you know. And kids, especially in those first 5 years, I mean, just period though, but kids evolve so fast that soon as you figure out a stage, like, oh man, I got this, I figured it out, they change. And then you have to learn them all over again. So I'm sure you're doing a great job of what you have, big dog. Julian saying, I don't know if I'm doing a better job than my folks. I've got a totally different situation than them. That's real. Shakir said, repeat the question, please. All right, I asked, the question is, do you think that we are better parents than the previous generation? Do you think, if you have kids, do you think that you're parenting them better than your parents parented you? If so, why? If not, why? So here we go. Corey says, I think it depends on the age gap. What up, Corey? I think this depends on the age gap of you and your parent. I'm 31. My kids are 9, 6, and 4, and my mom is 65. She just grew up in a different time period. That's facts. She did her best with what she knew and the tools she had. See, I just said that. But I think we definitely use their mistakes to try and help us, and also unlearning some of the things that we feel didn't quite work. 100%. 100%. In the meantime, I'm going to all right, let me hold on, y'all. I'm gonna say I'm just all right, there we go. All right, Andrea says, my mom would say yes, then I'm parenting better than her. Okay, for sure. All right, so let me get into this bag. This is what I think. Let me pull my notes up. I think I'm gonna agree with Jesse. I think it depends on the situation. I think in some cases it is true, and the reasons why I think that it's true is because we have language for things that previous generations didn't. So we're encouraged to go to therapy and have difficult conversations. Like I don't, big thing in my household and in my parents' household with my grandparents was, this in a black household because I said so. Those types of things. And you kind of learn later, like, that's not really always healthy. Like, the kids need to know why they're being told to do something. And then, what else did I say? We have access to resources that they didn't as well. And all this just factors into what some of you have already said is that, this is just a different time. It's a different time. It's a different time. And, there are some things that I feel like that this generation does not, do as well as the previous generation. I think the first thing that we don't do well is we don't instill respect and manners into our kids the way that we were. I tell my kids all the time, like, manners are undefeated. Please, thank you, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Like looking people in the eye when you talk to them. Like those things are undefeated. They'll always get you further in life. Anywhere I've gone, like, listen, man, I've lived in how many states? 8 states, 9 states. I went to 4 elementary schools as a kid. I've been to 26 states. I've lived on 3 different continents, and every single place I've been the only black man in the room, the only man in the room, the only black person in the room, the only American in the room. All different types of situations. And in every situation, manners have always kept me safe, got me things that I needed and that I wanted. And I just feel like they're just undefeated. But like this generation, like I don't make my kids say, I fuss at them when they say what, but they don't really say like, yes sir, no sir. They don't really say that to me. My son does, but my other kids don't. That's because his mother is very traditional, and instills those things into him. But I think respect, I think structure, a lot of those things based off of, again, like how some of you have said, like, it was a different time. Because it was a different time, different things were required. And those things may not necessarily be the case now. How do y'all feel about like other parents rearing your children like in the neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? I definitely know that there were some times where maybe like another parent on the block saw us doing something and like went up to us and we got in trouble. I know that happened. But how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all do that now in this social media landscape where people get robbed and people pull their phone out, or people just stand by and look like, dang, sucks to be him? Is that how that works? What do y'all think about that? In the meantime, I'm going to read these comments. Okay, Shakira doesn't have any kids yet. All right, no doubt. But I've delved into how I was parented and raised to learn from it. They did the best they could with what they knew. That's such a cheat code. Like when you really believe that, when you really recognize that, you're really able to like forgive your parents. Cause I know I had to deal with that, was like being mad at my parents for certain things that they didn't give me. Like, I wish my parents would have gave me a safe space to, be a better, or to date better, to date in a healthy way, to explore, myself in a romantic sense. Like, I wish I would have had that. And you get mad at the things that you didn't get, and you're like, yo, like I'm really tight about this. When you really recognize, like, nah, they really did the best they really did the best they could with what they had. And just certain things just wasn't a priority for them during that time. They know how to communicate it. It was a lot of hush hush, Grandparents are dying with lots and lots of secrets, especially in black families. Like, this is we are the generation, and the generation under us are the generations that are like asking questions. So this is all new. It's all new. Andrea says it's hard to answer that question in a definite way because I have a lot more insight into parenting now. As a mom, it's hard. It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard. 100%. 100%. So, yeah, man, I think you guys are right. Like, it really just depends on, because when you think about it, and this is my goal, like, I hope my kids are better parents than I am. Like I said, I think I'm a great parent. But I hope my parents kill it. Or I hope my kids kill it as parents. I hope they are amazing parents. And I feel like they will be. I want them to have kids in the right context with the right person. Everything structures in place to where they can really delve in. Because it's hard. What happens with a lot of people is a lot of kids are not planned. And so you're out, you're living life, you're doing your thing, you have a kid. And now the biggest concern becomes, well, I got to take care of this kid. And so now you're at a job that you're not necessarily crazy about, but you got to take care of these kids. So everything is put on pause and everything, becomes secondary. But imagine, imagine if you were able to set your life up first and then bring kids along. Like, listen, we're fighting, this is the first generation. No, this ain't the first generation. But this generation is becoming financially literate, and we're breaking a lot of poverty chains. And imagine if, our parents, our grandparents would have had access to things like life insurance and would have left our parents with, $1 million policies or $100,000, $500,000 policies that would have set us up for the future. Like, how crazy that is. So, I don't know, man. I did not expect to talk about that for 50 minutes, but it is what it is. I need to have the little church calendar or the church clock at the top. Going to a mega church, after being at a small church for so long, I really be like, and I don't go, and we'll get into our church bag as this show progresses. But I really, whenever I go, I really be looking behind at the clock, and I'm like, yo, you really about to do this whole sermon in 35 minutes? Like, for real? I'm impressed. Cause it's different, man. It's different. All right, let's get into some hip hop stuff real quick, because I really want to know what y'all think about this. So there is an algorithm rapper, like literally a rapper created from AI, artificial intelligence. His name is FN Meka. Let me read some stuff that I have on this person, on this idea, and then we're going to talk about it, because I think the idea that I have, or what I'm seeing, is a little bigger than music. And so I want to have this conversation. So basically, this tech group, they came up with this with this AI rapper named FN Meka, and I think, what's the FN stand for? I don't know. It's in the notes I got. But basically, they end up selling the idea to Capitol Records. Capitol Records is like, all right, bet, let's move. They George Bush the button, and the rapper gets 10 million followers on TikTok, and all of a sudden that kind of trickles onto other social medias, because that's what TikTok is now. The fact that you're able to download is actually genius. The way that you're able to just casually download videos from TikTok is like high key genius. And they just get shared everywhere. So it got shared everywhere and just immediate backlash. And now everybody's jumping out the bed. Capital was in bed with this tech company. They're like, we don't know. The guy, did y'all hear the guy who voiced, because they were saying the dude was racist. I'm about to read all this stuff, but they were saying the dude was racist. But the dude who voiced the rapper is black. And when you look at the artist, if I had my OBS right, I could pull it up. I'm not there yet. He looks like racially ambiguous. He reminds you of 6ix9ine because of his hair and the style of music that he makes. But he don't look white to me. He looks like racially ambiguous. But he has like darker skin. He's almost like, it's kind of hard to tell. You know what I'm saying? So let me read some stuff. Hold up. So CMG, Capital Music Group, has severed ties with the FM Meka project effective immediately, Capital Music Group said in a statement to Entertainment Weekly. We offer our deepest apologies to the black community for our insensitivity in signing this project without asking enough questions about equity and the creative process behind it. Y'all are lying. We thank those who have reached out to us with constructive feedback in the past couple of days. Your input was invaluable as we came to the decision to end our association with the project. Y'all saw all that feedback online and y'all said, who is this God? It was this woman you gave me. Like, we not about to sit up here and just throw this tech company under the bus. Like, major music companies show us all the time what they believe that we value. And they turn that into various ways or various streams of profitability for them. They sell us death every day. They sell us violence and misogyny and, you know, extreme perversion and sexuality every day, and malice and all of the every day. This is where you draw the line. You gonna sit up here and tell me, yes, this nigga look racially ambiguous. You gonna tell me that you said you didn't ask enough questions about equity in the creative process. It's a tech company, so I'm positive that the tech company probably had a very thorough presentation. This is not Bobby Shmurda dancing on top of, the desk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew, big dog. Like, they knew. They just chose, for whatever reason, they thought that this was going to work. And it's not to say that it ain't going to work. I think it will work. I think this is where we're going. And we'll talk about this more on Clock Radio Speakers because I've been talking to Doc on the text. And Doc has a lot of thoughts. He sent me this article that is amazing. And we're going to talk about it on the show. So make sure you check out the podcast. All right, so here it is. FM Meka is a product of Factory New, a media company focused solely on virtual and digital talent. Co-founder Anthony Martini told Music Business News last year. FN Meka was their first character, designed by Martini's business partner Brandon Lee, using thousands of data points compiled from video games and social media. Time out. So you mean to tell me that this rapper that you were getting ready to sell us was a combination of things that you picked up from video games and social media? Let's talk video games first and foremost. And I tell my son this all the time because he's a gamer. I tell him both my kids, both of my old, actually all my kids are gamers. My 8-year-old's a gamer too. There are clearly not enough black people in video game design. You know how I know that? Because the fade is always trash. The dreads are always bad. The hairstyles are always bad. That's how I know. Y'all got white people designing these like this hair. You know what I'm saying? So there's strike one. So you get your cues from spaces where hip hop music, which is black culture, you're getting your cues from spaces that don't have any black people around. So that's strike one. And then number two, social media. As volatile as social media is, all the trolls and bots and all of the dangerous things that come with social media, you mean to tell me that that's where you're getting your cues from? Are you serious? And this was supposed to work? All right, bet. So what is FM Meka's artistic process? According to Martini, they developed a proprietary AI technology that analyzes certain popular songs of a specified genre and generates recommendations for the various elements of song construction, lyrical content, chords, melody, tempo, sounds, etc. We then combine these elements to create the song. So you mean to tell me, I don't know if y'all heard the song. I'm trying not to get any copyright strikes. Oh, I didn't even. Okay, well, I don't know if y'all heard the song, but the song literally sounds like every single Tekashi 6ix9ine song I've ever heard. So if your algorithm, if we're looking at technology and we're putting technology on this pedestal as just this ultimate thing, has all this data, all this brilliance in it, and you mix all that in a pot, and you get that song, like that's your. I don't see niggas like I'm playing hockey. Like that's what you give us? It's not even it's racist, but it's more so it's just ignorant. It's ignorant. Hold up, here we go. All right, since this interview, FM Meka has amassed more than 10 million followers on TikTok when the music industry goes for ideas and where creativity goes to. All right. That's the other thing I hate. I hate when media outlets like interject their own personal opinion on stuff. I don't need to know what, I got this article from Entertainment Weekly. I don't need to know what Entertainment Weekly feels about this. I don't care. I don't know the author, and that's how you get in trouble. When I was writing, because I've written in various formats, but when I was writing for a very small newspaper, one of the things that they taught us was to write for everyone, write for everybody. Don't interject your own personal feelings into what you're writing. Like, just report the news, right? Just tell them what they need to know. So I don't need to know that you think that, TikTok is where creativity goes to die, because that's not true. All the kids are on TikTok, and kids are geniuses, and the way that they figure out how to do stuff and do some of that stuff on TikTok is very creative. So stop. Capitol was eager to sign the robot rapper, with Ryan Rudin, Capitol's executive vice president of experiential marketing and business development, touting it as just a preview of what's to come. Here's the last problem that I have. Definitely Skip Bayless, 100%. Milli Vanilli, 100%. This also speaks to the lack of voices in tech in general, the lack of black voices in tech as well. I'm seeing Anthony Martini, Brandon Lee, and Ryan Rudin. I'd bet a nice amount of money that none of those gentlemen are, number one, they're probably not African American, they're probably not black, but number two, they're probably not even like partakers of hip hop culture. Because as much as I say hip hop is black culture, I also understand and know that hip hop is pop culture. Hip hop has taken over the world. So when you take over the world, that means that there are every single race, color, and creed of people. They got a stake in hip hop, and there's a genuine stake and a genuine love for it. When I lived in Japan for 2 years, they love hip hop. They love it in a way that a lot of people in America do not. So we can't gatekeep that, right? It's just, at the end of the day, its heart is black. Its creativity, its soul is black, but it's universal. It is. But I don't even know if any of those gentlemen are a part of hip hop culture to that degree to where they care about it. Because if they cared about it, and I'm not the guy that thinks that, you know, Chief Keef is the worst thing to happen to music. But if you care about something, there's just certain ways you don't present what you care about. If I care about my appearance, I'm not about to go to school. I'm not about to go to work with a wrinkled shirt. You know what I'm saying? If I care about, whatever. That's a good enough example. But I really do think that these places, these tech spaces are just they're not black enough. We talk about checks and balances. Like, you don't have any internal checks and balances. Like, nobody stopped you when you had multiple meetings with this company and said, yo, this ain't gonna work. It's really a testament to how tone deaf and how disconnected a lot of these spaces are to like the real culture. So when you get these tastemakers and these people who will present themselves like they know what they talking about, it's like, yo, my man Lavoisier say this all the time. Like, I need to see some ID. Who are you? What are your credentials? And why should I take your opinion serious? This is why I don't care about when Rolling Stone drops a list, or like, they've shown us time and again, they don't care about that stuff. They're literally looking for clicks that get them ad revenue and that make them money. They got to sell magazines. They're not here for the integrity of, you know, the thing that we care about and love so much, which is hip hop. They don't care, or black culture, or culture, period. They don't care. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, no Steve Stout, no Dame Dash, no Puff, no Jay, no Dre, none of these dudes. They're not in the room. Because somebody would have told them, that ain't going to work. Not even like that's racist. Like, no, that's not going to work. I want to know who the 10 million fans were on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Why did you follow this person? Followers don't mean... all right. Jesus, I need to get out of here. Followers don't mean what people think they mean. Like, something we talk about on CRS all the time is like, when we were coming up and you bought an album and an album went platinum in a week, or an album sold a certain amount of records in a week, it was because, though I would say 90%, 95% of the people who bought that album cared enough to spend their money on that album. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, everybody has streaming. So because everybody has streaming and all the music is on streaming, I can basically pick from whatever I want. I can just listen. I listen to stuff all the time that I may not necessarily be a fan of. You know what I'm saying? If I go through streaming right now and look at albums from the 90s and the 2000s that I never heard. Why? Because I didn't buy them. Versus now, you just kind of like, I guess I'll check this out. And you just listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? So when you say an artist has sold or has this many streams, or they sold this, it's like, out of that number, how many of those streams were from people who actually liked the music, or wanted to, or cared about the music enough to want to listen to it? Sometimes it's just a curiosity listen. Does that count? That's the equivalent of going to the mall, going to Sam Goody and having the little, the little headphones. You can listen to the album, that doesn't count as a record sale. You know what I'm saying? So if an artist streams 1 million streams in a week, out of that percentage, what percentage of those streams come from real fans? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Hip hop and music is supposed to be authentic, and algorithms can never be that. There's just certain things that data, and I mean, look, certain things that data can never be. Look, they bragged. They said, according to Anthony Martini, which is the co-founder of this company, I'm about to get out of here. They said they developed an AI technology that analyzes certain popular songs of a specified genre and generates recommendations for the various elements of song construction: lyrical content, chords, melody, tempo, sounds, etc. What that means is they took the most intelligent ideas and put them in a pot and said, this is what we're going to give you. And it was terrible. It wasn't even good. It wasn't even like on some, this is not for me. Like, no, like, bro, this is bad. You feel me? This is not good. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. So, listen, man, that's all I got for this week. What y'all think? Because y'all been kind of quiet. Sometimes I just be ranting, and I be wanting to know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think, man. I would love to hear y'all thoughts. For future, I would love to like get people on, and almost like take calls like a show. That would be kind of hard. I'd be down to do that. Maybe like I really don't want to do Zoom, but something to that effect. I would like to do that with consistent people who come back to the show, because Lord willing, we'll be back next week, and we'll have a whole new set of topics. So make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed, make sure you guys follow me on social media. Make sure at ArmandWakeUp.com you check out the mailing list, sign up there. Instagram at ArmandWakeUp, ARMOND Wake Up, all one word. Twitter, Armand Wake Up. If you go to ArmandWakeUp.com, all my social media is at the top. You can just do that. Okay, StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard. I'll look into it. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Really, really thank you guys for joining me. This was super, super dope. Really glad we got to do this. This is just going to build and evolve over time. I'm going to step my OBS game up in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to invite folks on. We're going to talk about stuff. Feel free. Send me a message with topics and things of that nature. Leave comments here and let me know what you guys want to talk about and all that good stuff, man. And I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.